Welcome to the Three Mouseketeers, the sibling podcast that understands your Disney addiction. I'm Jared.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Emily.
We're going to have a very good time tonight. We're going to be talking about the Contemporary Resort at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. But first, let's get into some trivia. You guys ready to play?
Yep.
Of course.
Okay. This one is a fun one, I think. What's Prince Eric's dog's name in The Little Mermaid? Is it A, Max, B, Rocky, C, Buster, or D, Charlie?
I feel like I know the answer.
Okay. What first thought? What's your answer?
Max.
Okay. How confident are you in that answer?
95%.
95%. That's a pretty big number. Emily, what
It
about
is.
you?
I think it's Max as well. As soon as you said Max, I instantly was like, oh, that's it. But then also, for some reason, what was the last one? Was the last one Charlie?
Charlie.
That sounds kind of familiar too, but I don't think it's that. I think it's Max.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Max.
Okay. You guys very rarely are on the same page. Like first response.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys got it right this week. It is Max.
Woohoo!
I kind of threw Rocky in there. Hopefully you guys were gonna be like, oh man, Rocky, like a Rocky Beach or a bay or something.
No.
Maybe that could be it.
No.
Buster is
Rocky-
just like a very common name.
Yeah, Rocky was the one that stood out that I was like, definitely 100% not that.
Yes, me too. That one and Buster, both of them. I was like, those are definitely not it. And then you said Charlie, and I was like, no, I would remember Charlie. So, yeah, I was pretty sure it was Max.
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
good job. You guys got it this week. I'm very proud of you.
Woo! That's because we rock.
Well, this is starting out as a Rocky episode. All right, Emily, why don't you go ahead and give us a history fact?
All right, so today I have some facts that I thought were pretty interesting about the history of Dumbo. And, well, first of all, Dumbo opened in 1955, but it wasn't quite ready for opening day. And the original plan, whenever they first started talking about Dumbo, was to paint the elephants pink, because if y'all remember, there was that scene in Dumbo where they drink the champagne and then the elephants turn pink. So they were going to paint the elephants pink, but...
Yeah, that's what nightmares are made out of.
Okay.
The pink elephants. It scared me as a kid.
That's very strange. That's a weird thing to scare you, but
I don't
okay.
know. I remember it.
Moving on. So they decided not to do that, obviously. But something that I did think was really cool was that when they first opened, the ears on the elephants actually moved up and down, kind of like, they should. That's how they're flying. So their ears should kind of move, but there was a lot of mechanical issues, so they ended up doing away with it. Uh-huh.
Are you talking about the ride?
No. I'm talking about the movie.
No. Is Em talking about the ride or the
I'm
movie?
talking about the ride.
Okay.
Because
Did I not say that?
No, I'm thinking you're talking about the movie, so I was quite confused.
Well, I said it opened in 1955, but wasn't quite ready for opening day.
I know, and that's why I was really confused.
Yes, we're
How
talking
you
about the
opened a
ride.
movie and it wasn't quite ready.
We're talking about the ride, people.
Okay.
So, anyway, my last fact that I have about the ride, Dumbo, and this one's my favorite, actually. I think it's really funny. Apparently, President Harry Truman visited Disneyland and refused to ride Dumbo because he didn't want to be seen in the symbol of the Republican Party. And I thought that was really funny.
That is really funny.
Yeah, so there's some fun Dumbo facts for you tonight.
Dumbo the ride.
Dumbo the
Dumbo
ride,
the
not the
ride.
movie.
And a fun fact that Dumbo the movie scared me as a child.
Yeah, that's very odd, but okay.
I don't know. It was just weird and wacky, and I wasn't expecting it. And then all of a sudden, boom! It's like drunken elephants.
I mean, I guess the whole, like, I could see the whole circus theme is a little creepy, but I don't
Not
know
the circus
why.
theme. It's just like,
That part specifically.
yeah.
And I don't think you're alone in that, Jared. So I think you'll find we have some listeners, I'm sure, that were probably scared of that part too.
Oh yeah. Get in touch with us on social media, T3M Podcast. Let us know if Dumbo scared you as a child or not.
You just want some validation that you're not alone.
I need it. Give me all the validation. I was famous once for a Disney movie.
Oh gosh.
Just throwing that out
No.
there.
We aren't even talking about that. Okay.
All right, Amanda, well, why don't you go ahead and give us a tip?
This week I want to tell you about mousekeeping a little bit. So I don't know if anybody has noticed that they come to your door every day now and they want to check your room and take out the garbage. They're doing a security check. Well, sometimes this is inconvenient, especially whenever you may have sleeping toddlers in your room. So a little trick is to bring sticky notes with you and put it on the door. And you can say, hey, baby sleeping, we'll be out of the room at 3:00. Whatever. And then that way they have a time that they could come back to your room and they're not inconveniencing you and you're letting them do their job also. It also comes in handy like when you're checking out. Sometimes they'll come early in the morning on checkout day and ask when you're leaving. And then they'll come back at that time. If you're still there, then they may knock again. So it's just a little way to communicate with them so that you can both be on the same page. They don't disturb you and you let them do their job.
Yeah, I think that this is a really good tip. I know that it's obviously there's been things that have happened in the past that have made this a thing where they want to be checking your room. They don't want you to put the do not disturb sign on your door for the entirety of your stay. They want to make sure that everything's good in your room. At the same time, I've heard some really funny stories about people not putting if you are really like you're changing or you're showering and you don't want them to come in, you can put the lock on your door. But I've heard some funny stories about people who did not do that and they just locked the bottom one, which the the mousekeeping can obviously get in. And they have been walked in on completely naked.
Yeah.
Just stepping out of the shower and just I have heard some hilarious horror stories, so this is a good idea.
Yeah, I don't even think about putting the do not disturb sign on the door, so I could potentially be one of those unfortunate people that happens to. So
even the do not disturb sign, it's not gonna
doesn't stop them.
Yeah, it's not stopping them anymore. They're still gonna come in, and if you don't hear them, you're in the shower or whatever, and they knock, they're coming on in.
Right.
see, that's when instead of putting like, "Hey, I'm busy. Come back at this time," just be like, "Hey, come on in. There's a show."
Oh gosh. Please don't do that.
Oh no.
Free entertainment. Might not be the best entertainment, but free entertainment.
No.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I do like that tip, though,
man.
because I wouldn't have even thought about putting a sticky note with a certain time to come back. Like, hey, especially for kids that are sleeping, because, I mean, parents go back to rooms all the time whenever kids are taking a nap. So,
Or just when you're there taking a nap, you don't want
Yeah,
them
that too.
knocking on the door and disturbing you.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, sometimes especially with little kids, though, if you interrupt their nap, they become
the
little
whole
terrors.
day is shot.
Yes. You're
I
done for the
mean,
rest of the day.
If
So
you interrupt my nap, I become a little terror as well.
Well,
so.
she said, whenever you interrupt the children.
good point.
Okay.
All right. Well, very good tip. Okay. Emily, you have Disney bouting this week. Who'd you
I do.
pick?
I picked Sorcerer Mickey, and this was inspired by my new Sorcerer Mickey headband that I got from my mom, I guess, last time they were in Disney. But yeah, so I decided to do a whole Disney bounding on him. Okay, so if you want to look at the Disney bounding while I talk about them, which I really recommend doing, you can see the 2 outfits I picked on Facebook or Instagram, and you can find us at T3M podcast. Okay, so option A, this is my more casual of the two, I feel. So I just started us out with some blue jeans and then a long red cardigan, and this symbolizes Mickey's long red cape that he wears. And then I just did a plain black t-shirt underneath. I just wanted that to be kind of simple. And I did some brown high top Converses. I feel like I pick Converses a lot, but it's because they go with everything and they have every color. And they're comfortable to wear all day at the park. So I did brown high top Converses. Mickey's wearing brown shoes, so it matches perfectly. And then to represent the tie around Mickey's cape. Do you call that a cape or a robe?
I would call that a robe. I would call it a sorcerer's robe.
It's a sorcerer's robe. To represent the tie, I did a bow necklace since his robe is tied in a bow. And I did some really fun Mickey glove earrings. You can find these on Etsy. Like a bunch of different people make glove earrings. Then for the hat, I did a blue baseball cap with the stars and the moon on it that remind me a lot of his sorcerer hat, but without you actually wearing a sorcerer hat to the park. Even though they do sell those. So if you want to wear a sorcerer's hat, then wear a sorcerer's hat by all means. And lastly, I picked out a really cute Sorcerer Mickey backpack. It's a Loungefly. Really cute. I like it.
Loungefly, again, it has a lot of really cute bags. So
Definitely. So that was option A. And then option B, y'all know I always like to do one that's a little more dressy, depending on what you like. And so for this one, I did a red dress, and I would do like a longer red dress since his robe is on the longer side. And to go around the midsection of the dress, I did a gold belt since he has his robe tied with a belt. Then some brown Oxford shoes, and I know Jared said that he really liked these shoes. I do too. They're really cute.
Yeah, they look very similar to what he is actually wearing.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, not quite exactly, but they're pretty close.
I mean, his shoes are kind of just like a mush, a blob.
Yeah.
I really don't know what those are.
But they have the pointed toes and.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and then for a bag, there's a really cute crossbody Sorcerer Mickey bag, but it's a little more subtle than the backpack. And then I did a blue ring. And for earrings, I really like these earrings. They're gold earrings, and one of them is a moon, one of them's a star to represent the stars and moons on his hat. And then I really like the magic wand necklace I found. And to finish it off, I have the Sorcerer Mickey headband that inspired this whole look, basically. I have the same one. And I want to do this exact Disney bounding for the most part next time I go to the parks.
So I guess we know which one you're going to pick.
Oh, yeah. I'm picking option B.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Right into that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very cute. I could see you wearing it to the park, for sure.
Yeah, I want to.
Now, I just want to say, I feel like with option A, you missed an opportunity to put black jeans instead of blue jeans.
I probably should have, but at the same time, I was going with the blue because he has the blue hat, and at that time, I hadn't picked out the blue hat yet. So I wanted some blue in there. I should have switched out for black, but hey, do with this outfit what you would like.
I just think the black pants would have looked like his black legs that are kind of peeking out at the bottom of his robe. That was my only thought.
But I will say, from the angle of the picture of Sorcerer Mickey that I chose, you can't see it, but he actually is wearing blue shorts under there.
Oh.
So that's actually why I went with the blue jeans. I forgot about that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't remember blue shorts, so that is very interesting. I do like both of them. I think they're both very cute. I do really like the Mickey Mouse glove earrings. I think those are super adorable, but I really love option B. I think it is super cute. I love the dress. The earrings are perfect. I mean, all of it. I really like all of it. Would totally wear everything that's on there.
I like option B as well. I obviously like them both. I always say this. I made them both, so.
You guys know how I feel about dresses and skirts and stuff
you want to
like
wear
that.
them all. So.
I do want to wear all of them, but I think I'm actually going to pick option A.
Wow.
Yeah, option A could also be very unisex. Like if you trade the red cardigan for a red jacket, you can still do almost everything else. Maybe not the earrings and the necklace if you're not into that, but everything else.
I mean, blue jeans, black t-shirt, brown Converse.
Yeah.
A
blue hat.
Red overshirt. Yeah, the blue hat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It could even be like
I could even do the
button-up
Mickey
shirt.
Yeah, it could be a button-up shirt. I could do the Mickey earrings as well. The little glove earrings.
Are you going to re-pierce your ears?
Oh, they're still pierced.
You can get an earring through there still?
Haven't tried in a while, but I'm sure I could probably get it on in there.
Ouch.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're both really cute. I do like both of them. I think you really did a good job with option B, in all honesty. But, I mean, for me, I think option A would be it.
All right.
Very cool. Good job, Emily. Okay, well, that's going to go ahead and bring us into our main topic for the week, and that's going to be the Contemporary Resort. We're going to talk about a few things about the Contemporary, some history and some facts, and just some things that you can do, and kind of how close it is, and the transportation that you can take from Contemporary. It's going to be all about the Contemporary, so prepare yourself, I guess. First thing is first. I want to bring up the elephant in the room and say that on our last live stream, you guys chastised me and said that I was wanting to go to the kiddie daycare area, and that was not correct. You guys had never heard of what I was talking about, and that was Pirates and Pals Firework Dessert Voyage.
Okay, we really were... Okay. We were wrong. There is a dessert party that is a pirate cruise, and it is also for adults, not only children. You were right.
Yes.
But there is one that is specifically for children.
Yes, but that's not the one I was talking about.
There is both.
And you guys just kept telling me, no, you want to go to the daycare. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay. Does this have to do with the Contemporary?
It does, because the Pirates and Pals Firework Dessert Voyage is located in the Contemporary.
Okay. Well, I really think we should start at the beginning and talk about when the Contemporary opened.
Oh, so we can't talk about how I was right and you were wrong. Okay, I get it.
Yep, but moving on.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so moving on. Amanda, what was the first hotel that opened?
So actually, there were two hotels that opened on opening day of Walt Disney World, and that was October 1st, 1971. And the two hotels were the Contemporary and the Polynesian Resort.
Which is crazy to me. It doesn't seem like they're that old. Not to me, at least.
No, they've done very well with maintaining them, obviously, and keeping them updated, I think. So...
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they didn't just leave them in their original states. There have been really big renovations over the years.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I mean, the Polynesian just got a new one, right?
Yeah.
It's not even totally done yet.
Yeah, they're still making it happen. So,
Right.
but it looks very good. I do like it a lot. I do like the Polynesian. The Contemporary is a very good resort too. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorite.
Okay, see, the Contemporary is like top of my bucket list of places that I want to stay at Disney. I want to stay in the main building at the Contemporary, and that's like my dream.
I can help make that happen.
Yes, can you loan me the money? No, not loan. I don't want to loan. Can you give me the money to make that happen?
No. But I can book it for you.
Well, thanks. I'll let you know whenever I win the lottery.
If you happen to find a big bag of cash just laying
Yes,
on the ground somewhere.
You'll be my first call.
All right. Perfect. So you were talking about renovations. So I find this very interesting about the Contemporary. They did not build it like from the ground up on that piece of land. It's like a modular building almost. So all of the rooms were built off-site. They built the frame, and then they used a crane to piece the rooms into the frame.
Yeah, it was supposed
cool.
to be the future of construction, but they did not do very well with the future of construction because it had a lot of setbacks because the rooms that were built off site and coming in, and they were trying to slide it into place in the frame, and it didn't fit properly. So they had to go back and modify the room, and it cost a lot of money and it cost a lot of time.
Well, the intent was they were hoping to be able to pull the rooms out and like renovate them and take a new room and place it into where one was coming out so that they could keep it updated all the time. But the building settled, and so they couldn't take them out anymore. Right. So what is there is what was originally put in, but the intent was to make it easy to upgrade and modify it.
Yeah, very ingenuitive. I do like the concept of how they decided to do the modular structure, but just they didn't they didn't do so hot. It wasn't that great.
They were before their time, I think, with it. I don't think the technology was there to do exactly what they wanted to do. So I think if they would try it again now, it may be different. But I think they were forward thinking, and it was a great idea and something to try.
Yeah.
I think it's a really neat idea. I had heard of that before, that was kind of their plan. And you wouldn't be able to tell just like looking at the hotel that that's what they did. But I don't know. I think it's really cool, but I don't understand how they didn't take the settling into consideration. But I'm not an architect, so I'm not here to critique anyone.
Well, I guess whenever you're building something that's brand new that nobody's tried before, you aren't thinking about all the what could happen, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you would think so. You would think that they would be because, I mean, they have built resorts before, so.
Yes, but it's a different type of frame than what you're used to. I'm sure things happen to it that they weren't expecting.
I don't know. Just being in engineering myself, I'm not an engineer, but I have worked for engineering firms, and just the concept, like you would have to have your soil looked at, and you would have to make sure that it can hold the structure that you're placing on it. And
you also have to remember this was 50 years ago.
I also wonder if they didn't take into consideration as much like of where they're doing it. Like I feel like in Florida, like it's maybe different. These builders weren't from there because it's very swampy. Like I could see that things might settle more there than they do in like a different location. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. It's a cool concept. I think that if it had worked out, it's really neat. But it didn't.
Can you imagine, though, staying in the Contemporary and they're taking out a room underneath you? I don't know. I don't know that I'd want to do that.
Or what about this? What if you put a sticky note on your door said, "I'll be back out of my room at 3:00," and then 2:30 they're taking your room out.
And then you open the door and it's just like a fall.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be fun. Mm-hmm. I think the company. I mean, I don't know if you looked at the company that did this with Disney. I think it was U.S. Steel that had the concept of building this modular structure.
Right. Yeah, it was designed by Welton Beckett and Associates.
Okay, very cool.
Yep. Also, something I found really cool within the Contemporary. First of all, the main area there is called the Grand Canyon Concourse, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Because it's, kind of a big canyon.
It's
where
grand.
the monorail runs through there. So I think that's really neat. And having the monorail run through it, I think is awesome too. In that area, they had Mary Blair create a huge mural. It's like 9 stories high, 90 feet from the floor to the ceiling. It has over 18,000 hand-painted and fire-glazed mosaic tiles. And have you seen these painting? I mean, it's really
it's
amazing
kind of
and grand.
She also had a hand in Small World, right? So there's a lot
World.
there's a lot of imagery that is very similar to Small World.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, she was an artist and Imagineer, and also worked on Cinderella and Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, just to name a few. So she was working with iWorks and with Disney. And so she was a forward thinker in art and started putting colors together that nobody had put together before and things. So
And 5-legged goats.
And 5-legged goats. And she put that in there intentionally.
Do we know why? Because that baffles me.
Yes. So the name of the picture there is the Pueblo Village Mural. And she put the 5-legged goat in there to pay tribute to the Navajo belief that man isn't capable of perfection, that only the Great Spirit is capable of perfection.
Oh, okay. So if she wouldn't have put the 5-legged goat in there, then she thinks that her artwork would have been perfect.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I see. And really, in all honesty, it probably would have been, because it is a great piece of work.
It really is.
And it's amazing to think that has stayed there for 50 years. Because, I mean, think about almost everything in Disney has changed, at least a little bit. Even It's a Small World. They've done updates and stuff too. So it's not exactly the same as whenever it first opened. But this painting is still exactly the same. And it's amazing.
I think that is a little bit more special than just It's a Small World, though.
It is, and I'm not saying that it's not special. I just think it's really cool that it is something that has withstood the test of time and is still there. It's still something that's loved by people.
Oh yeah, and I don't think it's ever going to go away. Obviously,
hopefully,
it's a staple of the Contemporary. I don't think that anybody's going to come in and make the decision. Well, I say that there are some people who might come in and be like, oh, I think I can do better.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, let's just paint the wall gray.
Yeah. And they had her do this, I don't know if y'all knew this, to cover the elevator shafts to make them blend in a little more and not be such eyesores.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I really enjoy looking at it every time I go to the Contemporary. So it was a nice addition.
I'm usually just looking at it as a ride by on the monorail.
You've been to the Contemporary before.
I have been to the Contemporary, yes, but typically when I'm at the Contemporary, I'm just on the monorail.
See, I go every trip. Like, even if I don't have dining reservations there, I like to stop on the monorail and get off and go to the gift shops because I love the gift shops at the Contemporary. I don't know why, but I do. And I love just like that middle section, especially at night whenever it's dark outside, because that middle section that like there's all the windows, so it gets kind of dark in there and it's a whole atmosphere.
And at night, you can walk right outside those doors and watch the fireworks when they have them, which is pretty nice too. And they pipe in the music, which is awesome.
Yeah,
That's very true.
Yeah.
Speaking of the monorail, though, I do kind of want to talk about like some of the transportation, but the monorail is obviously a big one for the Contemporary. The monorail spot is the first stop coming back from Magic Kingdom, right?
Mm-hmm. If you're on your way from Magic Kingdom,
Yes.
and technically the last stop if you're on your way to Magic Kingdom from the Contemporary.
Yes.
So it depends on which way you're traveling. I guess you're right. Only one of them stops there. The other one just goes through. You're right.
So pretty fun. So I would suggest walking to Magic Kingdom and then taking the monorail back.
I 100% agree because there's a walking path to Magic Kingdom, and in the morning your feet don't hurt. You have a lot of energy. You can walk there and get there a lot faster, and then on the way home, you're the first stop on the way back, so why not take the monorail? You're tired.
And the other benefit of walking in the morning is it has its own security entrance there, and there's never a line, which is fantastic.
Unless you get some Yahoo named Mr. Pockets going before you, and then he gets stopped.
At the end of the line.
No, doesn't happen. I mean, if he gets there before you got to wait. Sorry about you.
Yeah, speaking of walking to Magic Kingdom, I believe on another podcast, and I can't remember where I heard it, but that originally there was supposed to be an entrance straight from the Contemporary into Tomorrowland.
Huh. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wonder what happened with that.
Interesting. And that's why it was so close and right there.
Yeah.
So
interesting. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I tried to look it up to see where it came from, and I couldn't find anything on it, but I did hear it. I didn't just make it up.
Well, okay. I also wanted to say, along with, of course, we just talked about like going to the Magic Kingdom, but if you want to go to other parks, of course, they have the buses just like all the other resorts. And also for Epcot, you can take the monorail, correct me if I'm wrong, you can take the monorail to the Transportation and Ticket Center, right? And then from there, you get on a different monorail to go to Epcot. Is that correct?
Usually that's the case, but since COVID happened, they haven't opened the monorail from the Ticket and Transportation Center to Epcot. So right now, that one is not running at this time.
Gotcha.
Do we know that it's going to open back up after the pandemic is completely over?
They have not stated one way or the other if it will or will not.
I would assume that it would, but I don't know.
You would think so, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen.
Right. And they also have boats that go from the Contemporary too.
Yes. That is what I was going to also say. And you can take those to Fort Wilderness and Wilderness Lodge. So if you want to go explore some other resorts.
Resort hop.
Yeah.
It also goes to Magic Kingdom as well, right?
I don't know. I thought that it did, but then this article that I was reading just mentioned Wilderness Lodge / Fort Wilderness. But I thought so.
So
but I might be wrong.
The ferry boats going from the TTC do go to Magic Kingdom.
But not straight from the Contemporary to the Magic Kingdom.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, okay. I got confused for a moment.
Yes.
Okay.
I was thinking ticket transportation.
Yeah.
So. I mean, one thing that we didn't mention is, I mean, you can just take an Uber or a Lyft. So there's that.
Boo.
I mean, what
Magic
fun is
Kingdom?
that? Yeah, I mean, you can.
That would
That's
be
the
dumb.
least.
It's not a great decision, but you can.
No.
But I mean, you can take it from the Contemporary to other parks.
Yes,
You
to other parts.
could.
The Magic Kingdom, it would be a waste because they would take you to the Ticket and Transportation Center,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to take the monorail
Yeah.
a boat.
Or the ferry.
which just seems crazy.
Or swim.
don't do that.
Maybe you can swim.
Oh, with the alligators. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Great idea.
All right. Well, I kind of put together some dining options and dining experiences. So let's see if you guys have either eaten here before or have heard of these places. So first one is obviously California Grill and the California Grill Lounge.
That's my favorite. Out of all the restaurants I've ever eaten at Disney, California Grill is my favorite.
Have you had the goat cheese ravioli?
The last time I ate there was several years ago. I don't think that they had the same menu.
That's
like it's always
like the
changing.
one staple that they have that is always
I don't.
there.
This was literally like 8 years ago.
I have not had the ravioli, so I'm just curious because it sounds very good, and I hear amazing things,
Okay.
and I want it. So
I have not had it, but I did have dinner there, and we stayed for the fireworks because we had a late dinner reservation, and they like dim the lights and then they pipe in the music, and it is a completely magical experience. I guess we should probably say that the California Grill's at the tip top of the Contemporary and has windows that overlook, like look out, and you can see Magic Kingdom. So it's
Yeah.
a perfect view for the fireworks.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And I know that they were doing this brunch. I think it was called like Brunch at the Top of the World or something.
Yes, that's what I want to do is
Me
the
too.
brunch at the California Grill.
Yeah, me too. It's supposed to be like incredible.
Yeah, but it's only on Sundays, I believe, and incredibly difficult to get reservations for.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine.
I have also heard that.
Yeah.
So the other thing that they have, like event-wise for like a dining experience, is a celebration at the top, the Sip, Savor, and Sparkle. That is savor small plates and fine dining inspired by a sophisticated menu at California Grill. And then delight in the sparkle of Magic Kingdom fireworks, spectacular from a private observation deck just for celebration at the top guests.
Fancy.
Yeah. And unfortunately, this one is not currently available.
Boo.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the times, right? A lot of the stuff that we're talking about right now might not be available. Let's see. The Wave and the Wave Lounge. Have you guys been here?
No.
Yes.
You have?
I
Emma?
also love this restaurant. I had this one more recently, and it was really great. This one's like the complete opposite of the Contemporary because the complete opposite of the California Grill. The California Grill is at the top of the Contemporary and the Wave is at the bottom, and there's no view. I don't even think there's windows, to be completely honest. But the food was amazing, and I remember our waitress was amazing, and the whole entire experience was really, really great, and I would recommend that a lot.
Yeah, I hear people talk about this one a lot as well. Obviously not as much as California Grill, but I do hear really good things about the Wave. And, you know, they talk about you can just go to the lounge and just grab a drink and sit and relax for a little bit.
Yeah. And this one's good. I mean, both of these, honestly, any of the restaurants at the Contemporary are really good for if you have a Magic Kingdom reservation that day, but you don't want to have dinner in the park. Like if you want to end your night early or just leave early and then go back for fireworks. The Contemporary is right there, so it's super convenient.
For sure. So a lot of the other options are like Outer Rim, the Sandbar, Cove Bar. So kind of like drinks, not necessarily dining options. The other dining options though are the Contempo Cafe and
That's the quick
grounds.
service.
That's the quick service and Chef Mickey's.
Yeah, I thought you weren't going to mention Chef Mickey's for a minute.
I know.
Obviously
Is this a table
obviously
service?
I am mentioning Chef Mickey's. I'm saving the best for last. Come on. No, so I really, in all honesty, for a quick service, I think Contempo Cafe is probably one of the best quick service.
I agree. They have a good variety there. I've always found something
Yeah.
to eat there. And so I think that's a good place for just a quick bite. They also have some good bakery items like cupcakes and things.
Yeah,
that are
good
really
dessert options for sure.
Yum.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we stayed at Bay Lake Tower, I really found myself going to Contempo Cafe just because it was still open and it was quick and they had really good options.
Right.
So yeah, very, very good. I mean, I hear a lot of people talk about it being one of their favorite quick service, like in a resort.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously Chef Mickey's. Chef Mickey's is just a really fun time. Buffet, brunch, breakfast.
Character breakfast.
Yeah, for
Character
sure.
breakfast. Right now, it's not a buffet. They don't have buffets right now at Disney. So this is a family style meal at the moment. And who knows how long it'll stay that way. And they just bring out an assortment of dishes for you and your family, and you can request more, kind of like a buffet, but they bring it to your table instead of you having to walk up and get it.
Pretty nice. I'd honestly prefer this.
I know, me too. I think I may have to try it next time.
I know. Yeah, Chef Mickey's is one that, like, I would say if it's your first time going to Disney, especially, and you have kids and you want that, like, classic, good feeling Disney experience, I would go here for sure because it's really fun. They have you, like, twirling your napkin while you sing the classic, Mickey Mickey song, and it's a really good time, even for adults, honestly.
I agree with that. I really like Chef Mickey's. One thing that I have left over, and I was curious to know if you guys have heard of this, because I haven't heard of this one before, but it seems very fun. It's the Highway in the Sky Dine Around.
Yes, I have.
You have.
I
Emily,
have
you?
not. Why have I not? Because I feel like
I
I
have
know about
no
all
idea.
the food things.
This is where you like ride the monorail and you'll have one stop at the Polynesian and have like drinks and appetizers. And then you'll go to the Contemporary and you'll have something else. And then you'll go to the Grand
What the
Floridian.
heck?
Yes. Come on. I can't believe you haven't heard of this.
Yeah. I hadn't
This
heard
is
of it
right
either.
up my alley.
It sounds very good. Unfortunately, it's not available right now, just like a lot of other things. But I'm really hoping this comes back, and I'm really hoping that I can do this at some point in time.
But you could create your own version of this and just
You
do it on
could.
your own.
Could, yes.
I might have to give that a try.
Once you find that bag of money lying around somewhere.
Yep.
Okay, what else do we have to say about the Contemporary?
I like that it's on Bay Lake and that the electrical water pageant goes by there every night.
Yeah, we did actually, whenever we stayed at Bay Lake Towers, we watched out our window because we had a lake view.
We did.
That was very good.
Yeah. So you can hear it from all the rooms and everything if you wanted to. It's really a cool time. And that's something that started at the beginning too. That's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm actually really surprised that they still have this around. I'm really glad that they do because this always reminds me of the Main Street Electrical Parade. And it gives you that like good older Disney feeling. So I think it's a really cool thing and it's unique.
Right. Me too.
Okay, if you guys had to rate the Contemporary on a 1 to 5 star, what rating would you give it?
I mean, I haven't actually stayed there.
You have.
Okay, I was like 7 last time I stayed there. Let's
But you
clarify.
have stayed before.
And it wasn't in the main contemporary. I want to stay in the main contemporary building. We stayed in one of those like garden wings, I think is what it was called or something.
Yes.
I don't know. But considering how much I'm hyping up my future stay there, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5.
Okay.
It has everything you could want, in my opinion. It's a classic Disney hotel, and it feels like it to me. But it's also modern and updated, and it has the monorail, and it has all the restaurants I could possibly need, and some really good gift shops, and it's perfect. Some artwork. It's everything.
It's got a 5-legged goat.
Yeah. It has 2 pools.
No other Disney hotel can say that they have a 5-legged goat.
That's true.
They
I'm just
can't.
saying.
None of the other ones can also say that a monorail goes inside of it.
That's
True.
true as well. In all honesty, I'm going to have to give the Contemporary a 5-star rating as well, just because of easy access to Magic Kingdom, easy access to the monorail to get to other parks. It's just a great hotel in general. A lot of really cool dining options. Pirates and Pals Voyage. Come on.
I knew you were going to mention that.
Really, in all honesty, I think Contemporary, even though it is one of the first, I think it's still one of the best at Disney.
I agree.
What is your rating?
Oh, I would give it a 5-star also. That's actually one of, well, we own at Bay Lake Tower. We're DVC members and own at Bay Lake Tower, which is right next to and part of the Contemporary. And I love staying there. It's so nice just to be able to walk to Magic Kingdom, to have the monorail, the electrical water parade. I really enjoy staying there.
The option
fun
to watch
time.
the fireworks if you leave the park a little early.
Yes. I mean, that walkway that's between Bay Lake Tower and the Contemporary is a perfect spot to watch the fireworks. You can see the monorail go by and watch the fireworks and see the castle in the background. It's amazing.
Yeah. It might not be the best if you're like really into the overlays that they put on the castle, but I mean, if you're just in it for the fireworks, then most definitely it's a great view.
That's true. That's a good point.
So, all right. Well, I guess that's going to be our episode about the Contemporary. Unless anybody
Actually-
has anything else.
I have one more thing.
Oh, okay.
One more interesting fact about the Contemporary was that on November 17th, 1973, Richard Nixon held a press conference there where he said, "I am not a crook."
I forgot about that. I have heard this before, and that still surprises me every time I hear it.
I know.
Like, why in Disney?
Because they had a big conference room and
There's a lot of places that have big conference rooms, dude.
He was
Come
on vacation.
yeah, maybe he wanted to go to the park and not have to worry about his job or people thinking he's a crook after he made the speech. You know, he just wanted to blow off some steam at Disney.
I am not a crook. I am going to go and buy all of Splash Mountain merchandise.
Yeah.
Okay, well, very cool. I guess that's going to do it for our Contemporary resort episode. I think we have a lot of really cool information about the Contemporary, and I'm sure that there's so much that we're missing, and there's probably people thinking, oh, well, you forgot to mention this or this. But hey, you know what? It's been around since 71, so there's a lot of history to it.
Also, I don't know that anyone wants to listen to a 3-hour podcast. So
True. That's a good point.
That is a very good point.
we're
And
doing you a
speaking
favor.
of, yeah. And speaking of, let's go ahead and get into Mousekeeping. So we want to promote our YouTube. You can find us at bit.ly/T3M YouTube. That's all lowercase. If we are not releasing an episode on the podcast for the week, we will be on live. So you can definitely find our channel. Again, that link is bit.ly/T3M YouTube. If you love the show, let us know. Leaving us a 5-star written review is the best way to let us know how we're doing and if we're covering the topics that you want us to cover.
If you're looking to travel, I can plan the trip of your dreams. Whether you're looking for a Disney vacation, Universal vacation, all-inclusive resort, international destination, or a cruise, I'm here to help. Contact me when you're ready for your free, no-obligation quote. And don't forget, my services are always free. You can find me on Facebook at Amanda.hollis, Capture the Magic Vacations, and you can find my contact information in the show notes.
Join us for our next episode releasing Thursday, the 6th of May. We will be putting our Imagineering hats on and creating our own Disney restaurants. Be sure you're subscribed to the show so that you're updated when a new episode comes out every other Thursday.
Okay, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for listening. You can also be a part of the magic by following the show at T3M Podcast on all social media platforms. That's T3M Podcast. Leave us a 5-star written review and we'll read it on an upcoming episode. If you have an announcement that you would like to have on the show or just want to reach out to us, send us an email at t3mpodcast@gmail.com.
Have a zippity-doo-dah day.
See you real soon.